At the other end of the scale, there's Porsche. They just don't make bad cars. And even when a new variant comes out, it feels like it's been honed and developed for centuries.
But that doesn't mean they aren't scary. This is the most powerful, the fastest 911 variant to date. The beautiful GT2. Here's Jason.
Even at low speeds, it has to be driven with absolute respect. Imagine what it's like when you hit its top speed, an adrenaline-soaked 204 miles an hour. It's the new 911 GT2.
So what exactly is it? Well, imagine the most ludicrous, unnecessary things you could do to a 911 Turbo, like add even more power and make it much lighter, and then strip away the safe as houses four-wheel drive system to make it leery, scary and rear-wheel drive. Well, that's exactly what the GT2 is. Wimps and girls need not apply.
Previous GT2s have been nicknamed the Widowmaker, as drivers tend to find it tricky staying out of the bushes. This one promises to take even more scalps with an incredible 530 brake horsepower. No 911 has ever been so powerful.
This has got the same 3.6 litre, 6-cylinder twin turbocharged engine as there's a normal turbo. However, it's got more boost and they've given it another 50 horsepower. And I have to say, my turbo's quick, but this is this is mental.
The GT2 is fitted with variable vane turbos, just like the 911 Turbo.
However, with the increased pressure, there is a bit more lag, and that makes it trickier to drive. On some slow corners, when you open the throttle, you get a bit of understeer as you wait for the turbos to start spinning up. Now the gear change is slightly heavier, it's a bit more clunky, but it sits perfectly in the rev range every time you pull the gear. It's a bit more meaty. It's just more of a man's car, to be honest. It's more race car-like.
There's plenty of torque, 680 newton meters at 4,500 revs, and the engine will thrust the car to 62 miles an hour in a mind-bending 3.7 seconds.
But in order to do that, we need to initiate launch control. So make sure traction control is on, into first gear, clutch fully down, foot flat out on the throttle, computer holds it at 5,000 revs, about 0.89 bar, and then when you're ready, off the clutch. 60 miles an hour.
Aside from that launch button, the interior is pretty devoid of baubles and gimmicks. It might not look like you're getting much for a car that cost 131 grand, but a serious fuss-free cabin is just what a car like this needs. Perfect carbon bucket seats, a perfect steering wheel and perfectly placed pedals. There's nothing to distract you from the job in hand of trying to tame the beast.
There she goes. the chassis is so well set up, you can make it do whatever you want. It's a bit snappy, but it's fantastic.
Do you know the thing I really like about the GT2? It's the detail. OK, so from the front it could be any old Porsche Turbo, but you get back here and you realise why the GT2 is special. See down here on this rear bumper, it's got these wicked shark-like gill slits. Well, they're actually there to relieve a pressure bubble that forms in the rear wheel arch. It drags cold air through there, cools the rear brakes. Now that's tech.
Come and have a look at what I found under here. Hiding underneath this huge spoiler, a pair of Ram air scoops. Round the back, what appears to be a pair of fairly normal tailpipes, you'd be wrong. The whole system is titanium. That's expensive.
But do you want to know my favourite fact about the GT2? Even though it's got 50 brake horsepower more than a normal turbo, it's got better CO2 emissions and it's more economical.
In other words, if you want to do your bit for global warming and you want a Porsche, this is the only one for you, the GT2.
Absolutely, that's wicked. You've got to buy the fastest and the most expensive. It always makes sense.